Like many other people, the Nintendo Entertainment Center was a huge part of my childhood. It really cemented video gaming as a big hobby that stood with me all the way till today. I play a lot of games, and a lot of people ask me what some of my favorite games for the original Nintendo are. That's a tough question, but I think I finally managed to narrow it down to just 5 of my favorite Nintendo games and why. So without any further hold up, let's jump straight into my favorite Nintendo games of all time. Clash at Demonhead is a game that was relatively unknown, and still isn't one of the big names for the Nintendo. It had a slight spike that brought it into the light for a while when Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was released, featuring a band called Clash at Demonhead. The game was originally released in 1989 in Japan and 1990 in North America by Vic Tokai for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Clash at Demonhead is a single-player only game and unique for its open-ended platforming style. The player takes control of Billy Blitz. He is initially armed with just a handgun, but can purchase various upgrades throughout the game. He also later gains various powers such as shrinking, teleporting, flight, and healing. The game is divided into a number of smaller stages, each representing a point on the overall world map. There are over 40 routes the player can take in the game, and the player must explore the world to progress. What I think is really cool about the game is the fact that it's non-linear, and you can choose the directions you take. You can backtrack and visit the stages in the order you prefer. The controls are really great for a platformer, and the graphics and sprites are colorful and bright. I absolutely love the sound effects and music as well. Definitely check it out, as it's a fun, unique approach to NES games. Super Dodgeball is a game that I played very little of as a kid, but as an adult I became a huge fan of. The controls work absolutely perfect, as they should in a game that moves at such a fast pace. It was released in 1989 by Technos Japan and is based on the 1987 game of the same name, which was also developed by Technos. In the game, the objective of each match is to defeat the rival team by throwing a dodgeball at its members. Each character has a life gauge and is gradually depleted as they get struck by a dodgeball. When their life hits 0, they are eliminated. There are also tired states where the opponent has a moment of advantage, individual stats based on the character you're controlling, and 2 different power shots in addition to the basic shot. Not content with just one basic mode, they actually went above and beyond by adding World Cup mode where you play as Team USA and compete against each country, Versus mode, which is the 2-player competitive mode where players can choose from any of the 9 countries, and Beanball mode, which is a free-for-all mode that can be played by 1 or 2 players. Super Dodgeball is packed with fun. It's super easy to pick up, it's got cool graphics, and individual level designs for each team. It's an awesome game that you should definitely try and definitely be in every collection. What can I say about Super Mario Bros. 3 that hasn't already been said? It's widely considered as one of, if not the best, platforming games of all time, which I totally agree with. It took the Mario games that came before it and added tremendously. Releasing in North America in 1990, it introduced a map screen before each level that included mini games and surprise encounters. The graphics became even more bright and colorful. New items were introduced such as the warp whistle and raccoon tail that allowed you to fly for a short time. It even had a huge push from the theatrical release of the movie The Wizard featuring Fred Savage. It's a fantastic game, one that I still play fairly regularly. It became so popular that it spun off into a cartoon and unaccountable amount of merchandise. If you're looking for a fun, easy-to-play platforming game, there honestly isn't a better one on the Nintendo than Super Mario Bros. 3. As a kid of roughly 7 years old when I first played Shadowgate, it blew me away. Upon first seeing the box, it looked ominous and more like a horror movie than a Nintendo game. I had to rent it, and after starting it up, I had never played a game that looked and controlled like this. Releasing in 1989, and in a port originally released for the Apple Macintosh in 1987, Shadowgate is a point-and-click adventure game. In the game, you're tasked with solving a series of puzzles throughout a castle, to proceed to the Warlock Lord's chamber. The game immersed me at the time, in the narrative and the gameplay, and that every decision is important, and that I was in control. The game was ridiculously hard, and I never actually beat it. There were so many ways to die, such as being burned by a dragon, attacked by a cyclops, sucked into outer space, dissolved by acidic slime, etc. The text displayed in the game were really funny and immersive and actually helped me at a time when I was still learning to read for the most part. The game had awesome graphics for the time and really transported me into its world. If you're a fan of point-and-click adventure style games, you've probably already played Shadowgate, but if you haven't, please check it out. Captain Skyhawk holds a special place in my heart because my dad bought it for me one year for my birthday. My dad was a big fan of Top Gun, and in return, so was I. When he went to buy me a present, no doubt a Nintendo game, he saw the cover for Captain Skyhawk and immediately thought of Top Gun. So he grabbed it for me, and I still have great memories of playing it with him. Captain Skyhawk was released in 1990 in North America and actually developed by Rare of Donkey Kong Country and GoldenEye fame. It's a single-player scrolling shooter with music composed by David Wise, who actually went on to compose the music for the aforementioned Donkey Kong Country. In the game, the player takes the role of a fighter pilot working to repel an alien invasion. The player must destroy enemy bases, then go after the space station itself. During several missions, the player must also make supply drops to the scientists working underground, or rescue a scientist from an alien base. The game features top-down scrolling overhead isometric graphics, including simulated 3D terrain, which blew me away as a kid. The player is the pilot of the plane, avoiding mountainous terrain while destroying aliens and bases. There are a total of 9 missions in the game, and each level has multiple routes. It's a great shooter that isn't hard to find and very inexpensive. Nice graphics and fun gameplay make this a game that should definitely not be overlooked. The Nintendo Entertainment System was a great system that came out at the perfect time. It influenced myself and a lot of other people to really get into video games. These are just 5 of the great games that were released for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and 5 of many that I enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching this video, and please put in the comments and let me know what 5 of your favorite Nintendo games were. And always, in this universe, we keep it retro. See you guys.